Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, everybody. Today, I have two beautiful ladies with me, and it's good because I won't talk too much. That's a good point. Yeah. So, hey, Kaka.
I don't know about.
How are you, Kaka? Missing you, my dear friend. I hope you're okay. Everything's fine with you. So, again, today we have Neide and Samantha. And for those who don't know, Samantha and Neide, they are volunteer worker for the SSI, Spiritist Society of Ireland. And it's a great honor to have you both here with us. And first of all, I'd like to say hello, good afternoon to our friends in America. I know everything's upside down over there. But I hope everyone put your seatbelt and are riding this journey safely. So at the end, everything gonna be all right. That's what I have to tell you. At the end, everything gonna be all right. Okay, so thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us today. It's a great pleasure. Hey, Don. Good afternoon, John. Hope you're well, my friend. So today's topic is time. Okay? The time is the remedy for everything. So we will learn with these two girls here something about time. But before,
It's fine. Never mind.
Before we start this conversation about time, it's time to prayer. So, Samantha, can you do the initial prayer for us?
Sure.
Thank you.
Let's do it. So, let's raise our thoughts to Jesus, to our dear God. Let's ask our spiritual friends, our mentors, that they could help us today with this talk, with this humble conversation, that we can learn from each other today, and that we can speak Jesus' message, and that we can use our hearts and our minds and our voice to say everything that they want us to say, and they want us to learn. They want us to understand. The topic is very interesting, very broad as well, which is time and how important it is and how much it heals and helps. But we, in line with the topic, want to ask for a very good use of this time as well, this time that we are together and that we are exchanging ideas. Be with us, dear God, in all step of the way. So be it.
Amen. Good. And in order to start, I need to say to everybody who are listening us, don't forget to write your comments, your questions, your opinion, because we need to keep going here. And it's good to know what you have in your mind. Okay? And the first question, why time is the remedy for everything? Any thoughts?
Oh, it's a question.
Yeah, it's a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Time is precious. Like someone say once, time is wise. So I think time is something that you can use in our favor, or you be against us. I think I don't want to go further here. Keep for later. And for you, Samantha.
Well, from what I understand, as you said, time is the remedy for everything because it has a lot to do with one of God's laws, according to Spiritism, of course, which is the law of progress, right? So if you think about your progress and if you think about how things are or the way things are created by God, we have eternity, we have all the time, we are immortal. So that shows us how much time is important, because if it wasn't, probably wouldn't be so broad or so vast. So that's one thing, and the other thing is the fact that we progress shows us that we go from a point of perhaps being raw to being something a little bit more sophisticated, and it goes or happens through time, right? So I understand or I believe that time is the remedy for everything because it, in essence, helps us to achieve this level of perfection that is our aim, or should be our aim, and that is what God wants us to achieve as well. So that is the main purpose of our existence, right? So we want to progress. God created us simple and ignorant, and we learn through time. So that shows us how much time is a remedy and how important time is as well. I'm not sure if I am on the track here, but those are the thoughts that come to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Emmanuel used to say, Emmanuel, which is the mentor of the medium Chico Xavier, he used to say that time is wisest dumb. Because he teaches you a lot of things and never talk to you. Don't point to you what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right. He never says. But his patience and waiting for you to have that wake-up call. So we need to evaluate how we are using our time. And we use ourselves, we are always in a position of judgment. We love to judge. We love to judge others' behavior, others' actions, everything.
And we judge ourselves as well.
We judge ourselves, exactly. Most of the times we push us hard than we should. But at the same time, when we want to change, we want that change happens like quickly, you know?
Yeah.
When we figure out we have, I don't know, a strange behavior and We wanted to fix something we have done. We think, oh, just because I change myself, I change everybody needs to see you in a good eyes. But no, we don't control this. And if you are practicing this, let's say, good behavior, I want to leave it clear that good behavior, it depends in everyone perception, everyone on judgment, because we don't have something to say, oh, this is a good behavior. We have indications, we have some examples like even by Jesus, but what is right for me cannot be right for you both. So, and when you start to live in this way, within the time, people will start to think differently and see you differently. It's not suddenly. And this period, it's a remedy, because this period cure anxiety, cure affliction, cure disappointments. This is gonna cure resentments. This is gonna cure selfishness. This is gonna cure a lot of things. You know? How do you think?
I think it's very interesting what you're saying, because, well, as in the Spiritist literature, we can see that we will never regress, so we'll never go backwards. We are always going forward. So time is a very good tool in that movement forward, right? And when you say it cures a lot of things, it is important for you to understand, in my view, that the time is a very good help for you in those things, and don't see time as something that you need to endure or something that you need to go through when you're suffering or when something is happening. That time is not a bless, but basically it's just I don't know, maybe a trouble or, something bad. Because in fact, if you use it wisely and if you understand how important those things that are happening are for you, and you can use it and you can turn it around and you can use it in your own benefit. So there are a lot of things that we don't, like you said as well, we don't even perceive, because they are so maybe embedded in us, or maybe because time acts in a way that is so soft that we don't realize. But a lot of things happen, and I think that time is a concept, basically. What really happens to us is experience, and this experience also happens in our thoughts as well. So we experience the world by living. It doesn't matter if you sometimes, like in this pandemic, nothing is really happening. You can think that nothing is happening, but in fact, a lot of things are happening, especially inside of you. And maybe an example of this is, I once watched a movie, probably, I don't know, 10 years ago, something like this. And I was, I kind of identified myself with one of the characters, the main character of the movie. And I decided to watch the movie again. I did it recently, so let's say 10 years after, and that identification just disappeared. I couldn't see myself as that character anymore. I saw myself as another one in the movie, because the movie had a lot of different stories happening at the same time. So I identified myself with this other one, and it shows how much I changed. The movie was the same, everything was the same, but my understanding and the way I perceive myself, right, and things that I value, things that I think changed with the passage of time, and then watching the movie again give me a different perspective. So time is a very good tool. Time is an ally that we have, and we can count on it, because I don't think there's another way. And in the Spiritist literature, you see that, as I said before, we are not going back. So we are just going forward. So you can believe and you can rely on time for your progress, for your evolvement.
Yeah. We did, Ned?
Yeah, but as you said, as you mentioned from the beginning, when you say that time is that we use because we are evolving, and but I remember there is I think it's in the Spiritism, Gospel called Spiritism. There is something, there is a part when they say that that we can use the time to grow, to evolve, to learn, and those who are not using the time, that they are, use the time to stay in the same stage, to not, the laziest one, let's say, because I don't remember the word that they use, but let's say the lazy one who use the time in another way. Okay, because we know that we are eternal spirits, that we are in constant evolve, you said, we're not going back, we just go forward. So I can say, okay, I'm not going to do this today because I can do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then I use the time for something that's not so good, but I use the time to slow myself, to not progress. Of course, like the Spiritism say, we will never go back, and you never go and we never go be in that stage forever. So late, something you have to go further. You have to remove yourself. But we see this is a lot, even us and the Spiritists, we always say that, okay, if I'm not learning this in this incarnation, I can learn the next one. And then sometimes we don't do enough effort to fix something in this incarnation, because we know that we have another incarnation after that, so I can do late. Why are you rushing? I can do it late. So this is a kind of, when I say we can use in our favor or against us. Because when you do this, when you have this behavior, we are not make use of your time. That like you said, because Spiritism said that we are here to grow, to evolve, to learn, that we have to use our times to do this, right? Like you said. But in another way, that is those situations that we use the time to slow us, to put us in this comfortable situation that I'm not going to do any effort now because I can do tomorrow. If you...
Yeah. There is a wonderful quote from the spirit, Dr. Bezerra de Menezes. Dr. Bezerra de Menezes. He used to say, you only change the pain of changing. You only change when the pain of changing is less the pain of living like it is. We cannot apply, of course, to everybody, sure. But this sentence is very wise, because sometimes we know we need to change. We know what we have to do, but we don't do anything. Reasons could be fear, could be, if you touch there, you not smell good, if you touch that point, something gonna happen. you need to go out of your comfort zone, because sometimes we judge, oh, this is not the right time to touch that. No, like, oh, like we can see this a lot in everybody. Oh, no, I just did this. There's not time. I just married. No, it's not time. Oh, my kids is too young. I don't need this. Let's wait then to get a little bit older. Or I just started this job now. Why you gonna do this? So it's it's a lot of things. But at the end, we know we need to act upon all these things. You know? And we only act when we always find something less painful to do. Again, I'm not generalizing here. I'm saying in most of the case, okay? But the good point is time. When you talk of time, is something we want to measure. We need that behavior to measure. Okay, time. Time is, we're talking about here an hour, we're talking about here days, a month, years. We want to know, we want to measure this. But the time we're talking about here is the time we cannot measure. Because something we will start today, but you only feel the effects perhaps in another life, on our next reincarnation. Or perhaps in our next 2 incarnations, or 3 or 4 or whatever. But we don't change. We don't want to change now, because we are afraid of. Instead of starting this change now and perhaps shorten this period. And we keep suffering until the moment we say, oh, well, now I have nowhere to go, I need to change. You need to change your job, you need to change your behavior, you need to change yourself, you need to change you know, like I sometimes we need to figure out that. Then I'm gonna use the quote from Heaven and Hell, with saying, we are the ones who have everything in our hands to heal us. Everything is inside of us. No matter what it is, everything is inside of us. We have the power to lessen our pain or increase our pain. But we don't know this yet. We don't know. We rely our happiness on someone else. We rely our future in someone else. And we are the main focus, the main point here.
Yeah.
And I think that's important was to respect the time as well, you know, because like I say, there is time to cry, there is time to laugh, there is time to feel lonely, there is time to move further, you know, like I say, there is time for everything. And when we sometimes want to push the time, oh, we want to avoid some situation, you know, want to avoid that time, that make the things worse for us. So we have to respect the time as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if you, I think you follow my line, Samantha. You say that.
No, yeah, completely. I agree with you. And I think that there's a thin line between your desire to do things and to improve and, you know, to use the time, and also the necessity of respect the time as well. Because sometimes, like you Stevan said at the beginning, you or yourself, Meiji, I'm not sure, you want things to happen fast, right? You want to maybe, I don't know, change your career, and you want everything to happen like suddenly from one day to the other. But it takes time, right? So it's like going to the gym and you're exercising. You're not going to be a bodybuilder from one day to the other. You have to go to the gym every single day. And even if you stay there for 24 hours, you're not going to be strong. You know, you're not going to build muscles like that. It needs time. And our body is like that. Our brain is a muscle as well, so it works the same way. You're not going to learn to play an instrument in a week. You need more time. So for those things, it's better to practice a little bit and every single day, and then you achieve your end result. And it's like you said, Stevan, it's so important to act now. In my view, maybe I'm wrong and you guys think differently, but I think you need to progress, even if it's small, even if you do something that is very small now, because it will build up and then you see the difference in the future. It's much better than not doing anything, especially when you know that you're not doing anything. Because in the Spiritist literature, it says, now that you know, well, the more conscient you are about things, and the more you know, the more responsible for those things as well you are. Right? So there is this line, this thin line, where you don't know sometimes if you're pushing yourself too much or if you're delaying things. But you need to you need to fine tune this. You need to try and understand when is the moment for slowing down. Just wait a little bit. It's too much for me. Or when you need to realize that you are just wasting time and you have to speed things up. So I believe it's an exercise. There's no answer. Like there's no recipe for that. It depends on you and your conscience and your experience. But it's an exercise that you have to do.
That's very true. You go to the point that I really want to talk about this exact point, you know, because it's better I act now, you know, and don't miss the chance because tomorrow can be too late, or it's better I hold on because now is not the right time to act and wait to act late and get the better decision, you know. Sometimes it's very difficult to find this answer, you know. Do I do now or I wait? When is the right time to do it? When will be the right time to get the decision, now, or maybe it's better I wait? But if I wait and I lose and I miss the chance, you know, it's like a torture, you know, in my head when I put the situation like that, like what I gonna do?
Probably the most important thing is that you're doing this exercise, you're thinking about those things, because then the answer will come. If you're making the questions, and the answer will come, certainly, especially if you are aligned with God, if you're praying and you have good thoughts and you have good intentions and, you know, everything is right in that department. I think you, at some point, you be inspired or you see an answer somewhere, or something will trigger that answer for you. So for me, asking the question is really important, even when you don't have the answer, but asking the question is the right way.
Yeah. we need to understand a simple concept. When we are anticipating moments, this leads to error. When we are right, okay, this will only work at the right time. I give an example. I am right, but I'm act in the wrong time. It's not going to work. I am wrong, but I'm acting the right time. It's not going to work either.
Yeah.
So if you achieve something, if you succeed in something, is because that moment was the right time and the right moment. And if you start now acting in order to achieve the right time at the right moment, it's better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to understand that we must act today. And the actions we decide we have changed today will affect perhaps your next 5, 10, 15 incarnations. Not just tomorrow. You know, if you have an objective, if you have a goal, if you have a meaning for that change, even though you listen from the others, no, don't do it, don't care, no. If you have in your mind, let's say, the perfect plan, you know, even though the others don't understand your perfect plan, you need to stick with it. But you need to be aware to listen the lessons you will learn along the way. When you have a perfect plan, doesn't mean you don't need to change the plan. You need to adjust the plan. It's like what I said, like when an airplane go from point A to point B, his plan is reach point B. He wants to reach here. Okay? When he put us in the data control and everything, the plane knows, okay, I'm taking off from here, but I need to land here. The way to reach here, he can change. They may have a storm, they may have high winds, or sometimes they have tailwind, and you're going to speed up, you arrive earlier than you thought. Now, so we needed to have this plan, but we needed to be aware what is surrounding us.
I think it's very beautiful what you said, because timing is everything, right? Timing is everything, and knowing the right time is not that easy, but you need to experience it. At least it's like when you see a pool and a swimming pool, and you want to swim, you want to dive right in, but you're not sure how the water will be, so you just put a feet there. Just get your feet wet a little bit and see how the temperature is, and doing those kind of things can help you to understand what is the right time, adjusting along the way as well. And you made me you remind me of a movie. I'm inspired by movies today, sorry.
Too much Netflix. Disney lockdown.
Too much Netflix in this lockdown, for sure. But there's a movie called something Benjamin Burton. Benjamin Burton is the name of the guy. The fantastic story of Benjamin Burton. Something like this. The Beautiful Story of Benjamin Button. Something like this. Anyway.
The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
The Curious Case. So he is born old, and then he becomes young during his life, right? So he kind of travels the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And he becomes in love with this girl, and this girl, when he's old, is too young. She's a kid, basically, and then they can't be together because they're not in the same phase of their lives. And then he becomes a little bit younger, she becomes old, and then there's a time when they can stay together. And they stay together, they enjoy this time for as long as they can, until he becomes a child and she starts to become old. And at the end, she just cares for him as a child. And it's really beautiful. I think the main message in this movie is exactly the right time for everything. There is a right time for everything. And this movie shows beautifully how important time is, and the right time, and how we need to enjoy things when they happen, because they're not gonna be there forever, at least not the way they present to ourselves, or even the way we imagine they to be. And so just remember of that, and just wanted to give this example.
Someone is watching the movie like you. He's not locked down there, but
yeah,
the Curious Case of Benjamin Button. Yeah.
And there's another one as well that is called Click. I love this movie because
me too.
It is so good to show how important it is for you to respect the right time for things to happen, because otherwise you regret. This movie is phenomenal. It's a comedy as well, so it's really light and funny.
Adam Family.
Yeah. So I think it shows the importance of time as well. You can't just forward anything. You can't just do that. You need to respect that this moment now is what you need to live.
Yeah, because this movie is very interesting, because when you talk about time, I think this one specifically, that Click, because what he's trying to do exactly like that. He wants to jump in every bad moment of his life, or boring, or he wants just to enjoy the good moments of life. And in the end, I don't want to spoil again, but it's an old movie. Come on, guys. But in the end, yes, he discovered that it's not a word didn't work as he thinks, because of his he jumped few moments of his life, he missed a lot of things. So it was a big lesson that he learned it in the end. And not just he learned it, but I think this movie teaches us a lot about time, about that exactly what we are saying in the beginning, to respect the phase, the time that we have in our life. Time to learn, time to grow, time to to pass through the bad situation, the painful situation. If we could just jump the pain in our life and enjoy and take just the good moments, we won't have the same lessons. We won't be the same person.
Mm-hmm.
We are who we are now today, because we get through all the time that we had. We passed through everything, the good and the bad moments, to get to here. But if you didn't have this bad and good moments, we won't be what we are now, right? So you'll be completely different. So yeah, that is important. Like we are saying, that's important to respect the time. Like that time to cry, time to suffer, you suffer. But the most important, you have to go through that, but not stay in that stage. To pass it through, not to keep. Time to let it go as well.
Mm-hmm.
To I don't know if you guys are following this.
I think that the lesson we have in these movies, what we're talking about today is live the present. Because if your mind is in the past, you are suffering with your mistakes, with the problems, with everything. If your mind it is in the future, you're living something that do not exist. So you live a dream.
Yeah.
But when you are today, living today, enjoy every single moment today, because I don't know if I will go to bed today and I could die.
And
You know?
a good example of this, Stevan, I think for all of us is this lockdown now. Like all the countries, all the places that they are in lockdown, all those people that they are at home. I have see a lot of comments on internet or when we talk that people say, the 2020 doesn't exist. I don't know, like if it was a lost year. And
No.
on the beginning, I confess that I was thinking a little bit about it, like on this the same thought, that is a lost year because I lost so much in this year. I had so many plans, I had planned to do so many things. I was waiting so much for this, and I in last year I was thinking, oh, next year will be the big year of my life and this kind of thing. And then came the virus that put everybody in hold and say, oops, no, that's not gonna happen this year. Sit there and wait. So I believe that this year, this pandemic situation is to bring us exactly like that. Time,
This year, next year,
patience.
I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know when this you finish. It's still in
Yeah,
the
but
middle
but
of
we will
everything.
only feel the importance of these 2 years that we are kind of slowing down everything in few years.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Yeah,
Kaka is saying here, if you fast forward your life, you miss so much. We have to live every moment. Yes, Kaka.
exactly,
We are on the same page. That's the message today. We need to live today.
exactly.
Okay, don't don't miss the opportunity of saying I love you to someone, to say you care about that person, or to play with your children, or to do that course you want. Next perfect time online, everything's online. You do that course you always postpone for any reason. Why not start this course right now? I'm too old. Come on. Do not give up your dreams. Again, you need to reach point B. How are you gonna do this? Robbie Brown is saying here, many opportunities to learn about ourselves these years. Beautiful opportunity. That's it, Robbie. I think Nate they did a great job in pointing this out. Uh, Many people see here, oh, it's a lost year. It's not lost. We
Yeah,
won. And we can see that is a message from a spirit called May, and she used to say this: the regeneration of the soul is the starting point for new understandings. In many cases, for this proper regeneration, it is necessary to have dynamite, a dynamite in form of pain, changes of clothes for the awakening of the spirit. So, this is not affecting only one person, one country, one village. This is affecting the entire globe. Some countries more, some countries less, some people more, some people less. But it's a problem that every single person in this planet needs to face. So we need this pain at this moment to, according to the Master, awaken our spirit for tomorrow. So we need to act like a. Today I'm with so many comparisons, many metaphors here. Like a farmer, the farmer needs to start to prepare the soil months before they reap the fruit or collect everything. And he plants today, he sows today, but he doesn't know what's going to happen in the middle of this time, but he knows at the end he'll reap that fruit he sowed. So in this time, they will have winds, rain, snow, thunderstorm, drizzles, a lot of things. And with us. And when the moment we most learn is the moment in which we need to reinvent ourselves. We need to find ourselves find a new person. Don saying here, so many opportunities to learn now that weren't available before. My wife takes many art classes, not a last year, just a very different. Perfect. I love this sentence, Don. Not a lost year, just a very different year. Yes. And then we have Marie Benetta. Yes, the pandemic taught us to slow down and love each day as it goes. It taught us to learn new things that we never had time to try, finding new talents. Perfect. Perfect. Like I was reading the other day, they are thinking now they're going to have a high increase in the population of sea turtles. Because people not going to the beach, the sea turtle put the eggs, and now we have more population of sea turtles. So see, it's we need. How many people now are with your kids? They don't see the kids for a long time. They don't spend the time with a long time. How many couples are getting divorced because they discover they don't love each other? And they were just living like that because they don't see them. They just spend like few hours at night. And now they need to spend more time together, and they realize they don't love each other. This is not beautiful. This is beautiful in my view, guys. Because you could realize that, okay, I'm not loving you, I'm not with you. And the other person, oh, I agree with that. I'm saying in the correct way, talking. But this is perfect. So, what's your recommendation for how to get started? What do you think, you guys? What's the pathways to get started?
Oh, to get started. Sorry, you say to start now or to?
No, well, let's say how to start to put our feet on the ground and say, okay, I will pay attention more with the time. How to start? How?
Choose the time always favor, you
Yeah.
say.
Give the recipe everybody wants, Nate. Give us the recipe everybody's looking for.
Uh,
What is the pathway to
if I had this
how
recipe,
should I
I would be
start?
rich. I would be the happiest person in the world if I had this recipe. Because there is no recipe. That this is the point. I believe that there is no recipe. Is for each person is different. You know, it's like I'm learning this as well. I'm learning how to use the time in my favor right now. I was like most of the people. I'm not work at the moment. I'm in layoff. You know, from work. Uh, I believe that in 5 weeks I will be back to work, but nothing's guaranteed. So, like, I have to learn how to use this time in my favor as well. So, I I mean, sometimes I'm reading that I love to read, but sometimes I don't have enough time because I'm working. At night I'm too tired, and I start to read and I'm sleep. So I'm reading during the day. During the day, I'm doing things that I like. Don, I think, told us about that. His wife, for example, start to do art classes. So I try to find out things that I like more to do, things that I discover that I don't like to do anymore. I'm like I use this time to rediscover myself, let's say.
Perfect.
And for me, this time, this period of pandemic is something that I'm using my favor to learn, especially to learn about myself. And for me, it's been very, very interesting. And I'm very, very grateful for this moment. Believe me, I'm really, really grateful. Of course, I'm not happy with the situation, with this pandemic, everything, but I'm grateful that I'm having time to myself, because I didn't have this before. I didn't enjoy my house like many of people. I spend most of the time outside, or at work or do nothing. I had like meals at home, maybe 1, 2 times a week. I do all my meals outside at work, or in restaurants or friend's house or whatever. And now I have meals at home again. You know, I changed completely my diet. Let's say, because now I have homemade food, and I get some weight, of course. That's normal.
Okay, skip
But
this.
yes, it's very nice. Yeah, you skip this part. But
Yeah.
yes, it's really good. It's really good. Like when we use this in our favor, and I hope that many people are doing the same. Really.
Samantha, what's your recipe?
Well, I don't have a recipe. I'm sorry, um, but I think that it's a very personal thing to um to not to think, but to realize how you could use this time in your life, because it depends on your situation. Of course, if you're struggling with this financially, or I don't know, maybe in a relationship in your house, or whatever the reason, you won't see this year with good eyes. Of course you won't, and it's understandable. But if you have the opportunity to, like, financially you're secure and you have the time, you could use it to do so many things. But and I understand that some people also just want to do nothing, because they did so much in the past few years. Maybe who knows what they were doing? They were involved in so many things, and now it's just time to enjoy themselves a little bit, and to enjoy their family, and to have a meal together, or to sleep a little bit more. Do those things that sometimes we don't see them as beneficial, because we think that we are wasting time, maybe talking to people in your house, or maybe even sleeping. You're not definitely not wasting your time sleeping. Your body needs it. Um, so try and think of things that would make sense for you, and try and get of what is important for you in your life. I've done a few things as well. Anyway, I had taken this year to study, and this pandemic just happened for me it was, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain that, but it seems like what's happening, it's really hard to say. But anyway, I'm basically just studying this year, and I learned a few other things outside of the course that I'm doing, and the graduation course that I'm doing. I'm changing my career, so it seems like a very good time to do it for me, if I can say like that. But I understand that it's a very difficult moment for the whole world. A lot of bad things are happening in a way. A lot of other good things are happening as well. So I saw a comment here about the CO emissions. There's a lot of other things happening. Health and technology is evolving so much during this time, this year, that when you see everything that is happening in a few years' time, you just think 2020 wasn't wasted at all, at all. I think we are going to do a very big jump in those areas. So I think it's very personal. And
yeah, I think the recipe is read the books you want to read, watch the movies you want to watch, talk to people you always plan to talk. You cannot hug, you cannot see, but you can still talk to them. You have phone, mobiles, letter, write a letter. Now you have time. It's time to, as Noemia said it here, know yourself. This is a perfect time. And Don said something very interesting. Jesus went to the desert to find quiet time to meditate on his mission. We can slow down enough to go with him and see what our mission is. Like Nate said, explore our possibilities. Just don't eat too much.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And there is a comment here. I like that comment. Robbie said, to become aware of who you are. If you don't know where you are, how can you plan where you want to go? So, know yourself. Do things what you
Yeah, and I
like.
believe that
Go ahead. Nate? Yeah, she's freezing. We lost her.
yeah, I think we lost her.
We lost her. Yeah, but what I was saying is we need to know ourselves. Really do things we enjoy. Not because you want to make the other happy and you don't like, but try to do things you want to like. You like the most. Okay, she's back again. She's live.
sorry guys. Yes, I have a trouble on the internet here. Sometimes
Yeah.
happen. Technology is not perfect as well. Look that.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's something just that I want to say that I know that for many people this time is very hard, and I know people that is really struggle with some situations right now, like Samantha said. But for all of us, this is a learning moment, and I believe I think I saw somewhere somebody comment here. Nothing's happened without God permission, and if something's happened, if you are struggling with something, we have to calm down, to try to pray, try to find a way to see the perspective, to see the things in different ways, to find a solution for your problem. Because sometimes if we forget to even to think or to breathe, and sometimes the best way to find a solution for a hard moment, for a problem, is to calm down, take a deep breath, pray, and take it easy. Don't get in despair, because it's not help. And if you cannot do yourself by yourself, look for help, ask for help. There is a lot of people that is put themselves to open to help the others now in many ways, and I know that we can count on them. So it's important to us to remember that
Yeah.
that when the time say to you that you're not gonna do alone, find some help. Look for some help.
Yeah. And the time is flying, guys. So we are over 2 minutes from our time. So
No, yeah,
my
there is just a very beautiful quotation that I found when I was reading, that say that the two most powerful warriors are patience and time. So let's put these warriors to fight. It's the best thing that you
like
can do
that.
now.
And let's put this and keep going. Everything you need will come to you at the perfect time. Okay, this is it. Thank you, girls. Thank you very much.
No
I
problem.
learned a lot. I
It is
have
a pleasure to be here.
I have to do my homework, you know. But just before we turn, I need to give this message here. So we do have the Spiritism X 2020 this weekend. Will happen on Saturday and Sunday. We will start 3 p.m. GMT time, London time. So it goes. It's several blocks, 2 blocks per day. So you're gonna see this on Kardec Group, Kardec Radio, Spiritist Society of Ireland, Rádio Amigo Espírita. You can watch this. So so it's 15-minute talk. So we don't last longer. So it's just an hour, but it's 15 minutes. So it's nice to see. Also on the 28th of November, we have our friend Aru Gandhi, son of Mahatma Gandhi. He's gonna give a talk to us, so stay tuned as well. Last but not the last, I invite you to go to the spiritistinstitute.org and you'll see what's going on in the Spiritism world. Also, be connected with Kardec radio programs. It's announced 24/7 programs. So I'm pretty sure one of the programs you want to fits your time, will be available to you. And if you want to know more about Spiritism, I invite you to go to the spiritistacademy.com. There are several videos, lessons, quotes, short messages that will give an idea and introduce you in a very good and easy way the Spiritism teachings. Okay? So, we started with Samantha. Can we finish the prayer with Nate?
I can try, guys, but just be aware my internet's not so stable now.
Okay, if you
So if you miss me,
if you
if you miss me,
losing you, I gonna catch a rescue. Okay.
yeah, you take over. All right. So let's go. Let's raise our thoughts to the Master Jesus, to the High Spirits, to God. First of all, say thanks to mentors of the Spirit Society of Ireland to guide us, to the High Spirits to be always so helpful when we need, and to God for this opportunity, for this time to be here tonight, sharing and talk with you guys about this so important subject. that these thoughts can be in our mind, that we can think about it, and that we use our time wisely and in a good way. That God be with us. So be it.
Amen. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, my friends from America. Thank you, my friends from Ireland. Thank you, my friends, for all the part of the world. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here and for listening us. Okay? See you next
Thank you
Tuesday.
very much, guys.
Have a nice
soon.
day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.